Sailors and pirates and scalawags we, in the dark Caribbean, on a roiling sea. Our health is low and the danger's high. There's so many ways to die. There's 5 in the crew, what are we to do? We've been blinded by a bilge rat, crunched by a croc, drowned in the droppings of a seagull flock, stung by the jellyfish hung from a rail, battered by a barnacled humpback whale, stabbed in the groin with a rusty pitchfork, keel-hauled under a Spanish man-of-war. Our health is low and the danger's high. There's so many ways to die. There's only 4 left on this bloody poop deck. We've been obliterated by an obscure oyster cult, mashed by a marrow mortal, quite an insult, electrocuted by an eldritch eel, an ancient elder our souls did steal, livers all black from years of rum. I just found out where scurvy comes from. Our health is low and the danger's high. There's so many ways to die. We're down to 3 on this forsaken sea. We've been bitten on the back by a banded sea crate, drawn and quartered by an angry sea wraith, shot in the gut with a cannonball, carried off whole by a carrion crow. Our lungs all filled with wet consumption, shocked by a shoggoth. Now isn't that something? Our health is low and the danger's high. There's so many ways to die. It's just us 2, we are so doomed. We've been gnawed on by a necro swine, pickled in a barrel of bile and brine, garroted by a gorilla crab, smashed so flat by a coral slab, burning under the sun in a gibbet cage, feeling the wrath of a mermaid's rage. Our health is low and the danger's high. There's so many ways to die. Now it's just me, it's time to flee. But I've been chomped in half by a fossil shark, chained in the well of eternal dark, stoned to death by a mad Jamaican, got heart disease from too much bacon, swung from a noose which did not slacken, gored by the beak of a love-crazed kraken. My health is low and the danger's high. There's so many ways to die. Well, you could complain that life's not fair, but the angry sea, it just don't care. My health is gone and the end is nigh. In the dark Caribbean, so many ways to die. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. When I was but a wee boy, my father said to me, "Son, for generations we've sailed upon the sea, but danger's out there lurking to send you to the grave. So learn your ABCs, lad, perhaps your life you'll save. Now sea monsters they come in many shapes and sizes. Let's review them all now so there be no surprises. A is for albatross, hung around your neck. B is for bilge rat on a briny shipwreck. C is for Charybdis hiding under a rock. D is for deep ones in the great abyss they stalk. E's for ancient elder who'll try to steal your soul. F is for a fossil shark who'll try to eat you whole. G is for giant squid with tentacles of steel. H is for hydra with many heads that kill. Some monsters be above ya, some monsters be below, but the monsters that'll get ya are the monsters you should know. I's for infernal pelican who's got a massive beak. J is for jellyfish whose sting will make you weak. K
Stinkosaurus.
Oh, Rick!
Arr-de-arr-arr-arr.
Good evening, this is Matt Rose, and tonight, yeah, looks like the microphone's working. Tonight we're going to be shooting the castle. You can kind of see it there on the on the room camera. So the bottom right is the little webcam, so you'll see a lot what's going on there. Castle is what you see there in the big picture, but we're going to switch over to the shooting computer in a little bit. But I'm going to just kind of get things set up as we go, and then I'll switch over to the... So I'm going to be playing with a couple of 3 or 4 different Roscoe gels. And see here. Okay. All right. Here we go. Looks like my monitor is like a minute behind. Yeah, this one works here. Just have to kind of see what I'm doing. Will this work if I push this on that side? Will you work? No. All right, so I need to turn the picture-in-picture off. Ah, the joys of live streaming when you're the only one doing it. All right, let me go turn the picture-in-picture off, and then I need to change the lens out. Yeah, there it is. Let's turn that off. There we go. Okay, so I am swapping out the lens. Was using a 100. I need to put the lens cap on. Here we go. So basically I'm just setting everything up here. Okay, there's that. And I need to put the cap on the squeeze through here. It's a little tight over here. Get my lens caps. That's the wrong lens cap. That's the right one. There it is. Okay. Here we go. Squeeze through here. Okay, lens cap back on the 100 millimeter. Now I'm going to go grab probably the 75 millimeter. These are Siri anamorphic lenses that I bought a couple years ago. I think I'm going to do this in a widescreen and then maybe crop it down if I need it for shorts. So I probably need to unattach the wireless camera focus pole. There we go. All right, now, if you can see what I'm doing or not. Okay. Then there's a little spot. Okay, there's the little spot. Okay. Now the 75 millimeters on. Turn the power onto the camera so it opens up the iris. And there's the camera. Okay. Is that wide enough? Or do I want to go with the 50? We could try the 50. Let me show you what I'm doing here. Let me go switch the camera switcher. All right, camera switcher needs to go to camera 1. There's camera 1. Okay, so now you can see what the camera sees on the 75 millimeter lens. Might end up going to the 50 millimeter. So at least let me focus it. I probably need to put a new battery on the focus pole. Okay, that's 7.7 volts. Let's see if we can get a fresher battery here. Okay, so come over here. Did these ever get charged? This battery charger is a little wonky. Okay. Reset the battery charger. Hopefully that works. Okay, let's see if we'll get a better battery. These batteries are honking. Okay. Let's put that in there. Turn that on. 8.3 volts. Okay, that's good. All right, now I'm not sold on the 75. I might want to go to 50. Also going to lift the camera up a bit. Okay, so turn that on. There we go. See what this looks like. Okay. Back on, right? Turn it off. Oh, well, lens cap's off. It's like the on-off button. Okay, where are we not getting? All right, where are we not getting anything here? There it goes. Okay, so looking kind of weird there. All right, now let's focus this a bit. Okay, it's at a weird angle, but okay, lost my one person there. All right, so we're about as far back. Yeah, we're probably going to want the 50. Can't really see much. All right, let's try the 50. Okay. Lens cap back on. Camera off. Focus pole removed. Hit the button to remove the lens. Let that fall down. Okay, put the cap back on for the 75 and we'll try 50. See if we can get a little bit more into the screen compositionally. Okay, take that off. There's this. Put that on there. There we go. It's a little too far back, so I need to move this a little bit forward. There's that. Okay, that's better. Turn the camera on. There's that. Okay, now how does that look? Well, getting a little bit wider shot. Okay. And so we're going to need to raise the camera a lot. I kind of like that we're at least getting more of that. I could go to a 35 even. All right, well, let's try the 35. Okay, let's put the other. I just want to try to get most of the model into the shot. Okay, turn this off so it closes the shutter. There's that. There's this. Let's try the 35 and see how that looks. Okay. 35, the first lens I got. Okay. that's 1.6. Okay, so a much smaller lens. Okay, I don't use this lens a lot, but we'll see how it looks. Okay. Where's the red dot? There's the red dot. Okay. Click that into space, place. Turn that on, open that up there. Oh, that's gonna need to move forward. That's gonna keep falling. Okay, tighten that up. That should work. All right, let's see how this one looks. All right, well, we're getting everything. Wonder if I need to put some of the diopters on or not. I guess let me raise the camera. Okay, camera, here we go. Okay. That is in the way. I'll move that out of the way. Okay, here we go. Camera's up a little bit higher now. See how that looks. Might end up going back to the 50, but we'll see here. Okay. There's that. Alright. Might want to go even higher. Yeah, let's get the camera higher. Okay. There we go. Make the camera higher. Okay. Put it at the end of the sticks here. There we go. So, now that one needs to be more. Okay, do that one. There's that. Okay, come over here. That one got a little ways to go. There we go. Okay, and then what about this one over here? Well, he claims he's all the way up there. Okay. This needs to be... What is it? Is it level? Doesn't seem to be level. Okay, just pull this here this way. There we go. Alright, make sure that's nice and tight. Cables everywhere. Okay, let's see how that 35 looks up there. Okay, let's bring it down a little bit. It's kind of at the edge. I'm probably gonna have to go with the 50, I think. Yeah, I'll probably have to go with the 50. Okay. Take that guy off. Let's get the 50. Put the 50 back on. All right, is that the right cap? No, that's not the right cap. Okay. Just trial and error. Okay. There's that. Turn the camera off. Take the little 35 off. Go get the 50. All right, 50. You're back. You're back in the game. Okay. All right, this is what these lenses look like here. All right. Okay. Look for the red dot. Line that up. Okay, there's that. Turn that back on. Put the focus pole back engaged. There we go. Take the cap off. All right, so let's see what we can do with the 50. All right, that's not bad. I like it higher like that. I'm just thinking get it a little bit higher. Okay, yeah, let's see if we can get a little bit higher. Okay, these are down here at the tiny sticks. Okay, so get these wires out of the way. Down. Okay, a couple inches higher there. Make sure this whole contraption doesn't fall over. That wouldn't be good. Okay. Bring that up a little bit. And then we'll bring the back up. Alright. Back's coming up a bit there. There we go. All right. So camera's up a little bit higher now. And okay. Let's get the Trixo going here. Okay. How are we doing on focus? Okay, not too bad. All right, Mr. Trixo. I might need to move that whole thing back. Okay, Trixo. Trixo. Refresh list. Okay. Connect and pair. Connect and pair. Head over here. Joystick. Okay. Alright, that's the pan there. Let's bring the tilt up just a little bit. There we go. Okay. So, that's a shot. Now, I guess we'll work on lighting a little bit. Okay, so this first one is the Roscoe R103. Okay. Clean the floor up a little bit here. Keep running into that. Okay. And then, oops. Oopsies. Okay. Now, lower this a little bit. Okay. See how that looks. Okay, so we're still getting some spill. What is this? Usually I put this on 5.6 so I get a little bit more light in there. Okay. Yeah, we're getting a bright spot there, which is the reflection really of that backdrop, because it's kind of got a shiny spot on it. All right, let's see here. Okay. Let's hold that there. Just kind of pan over. Okay, let's keep it there, I guess. Alright, so I want to maybe, this needs to be, let's do 3 seconds of pan and then 3 seconds of pulling in. Okay. Now, why is this so high now? Okay, I'll see that there for now. I need to work about this hot spot. I'm just going to end up using the bounce and not the gels. The problem is with that hot spot, I'm getting that reflection off the back of that backdrop. And I don't know if the gel's going to be able to handle that or not. Even if I turn it down, it's still going to look like a hot spot. Guess I can try to move the light and see if that helps. Problem is that material is very reflective. Okay. I'm caught on this wire here. Too many cables around here. Okay, need to get that. Is that helping or no? Maybe I need to use the barn doors. Or is it just too far? Alright, so I think it needs to go over farther. Or I could move it over here. Okay, let's see how far. Or maybe I can just rotate it. Okay. Let's see if I can put this in here. And then rotate it back that way. That way it's not on the hot spot isn't exactly on the, well, but it's right there. Even if I barn door that, maybe there. Okay. What are we doing tonight? Well, we are setting up a castle shot. I'm playing with lighting right now. So this is the establishing shot for a bunch of the shorts. Okay, I'm still getting that hot spot. Where is it? Is it just the... Do I need to close all the barn doors to get rid of that spot? Or maybe use the diffuser thingies? Okay. Turn it even more. Okay. Let me get the gel. I might end up having to just use a bounce, but we'll see. There's not a whole lot of space in here. Okay, so there's that. Bring it up a bit. Pull this back a bit. Alright, there's this. I got too much crap in here. Okay. Now, see how that looks. Okay, still have that hot spot. I can't seem to get rid of it. Might just have to go with the bounce. Maybe a bounce and then diffuse. Okay. Maybe the light's too bright. Let's try to turn the light down a bit. Alright, let's see what this light is set at. It is set at 6%. Okay, well, try to go down to 4%. Still getting that hot spot. That backdrop material is just too reflective. I just have to go with the bounce. Bounce with some, maybe try the gel. It's just leaking. That's just the light source. I'd have to move the light source over. Can I move the light source over anymore? Well, I can try putting it over there. Problem is, I don't know if that's going to work any better or not. If we just move the hot spot to a different place. Let's see what happens if I open this up. Oops. Okay. Okay. Ah, the joys of lighting. Okay. Well, let me try the bounce, I guess, with it's really just the issue of the backdrop. The lighting actually doesn't look too bad. On the model, it's just my choice of backdrop is not great. I'm going to have to move to different backdrop materials in the future. Well, let me see here. What can I do? What to do? Fish or cut bait? Well, I could play with some stuff and not worry about the backdrop right now, and then try to come up with a better idea for the backdrop. Okay, so yeah, because I'm losing some of that over there. Okay, I'm just pulling the camera in. The diffuse material is interesting. I just need to have a matte backdrop and not a shiny backdrop, so add that to the list of things to do. Figure out a better backdrop. Or I could move the backdrop back. There's just not a lot of room in here. Well, I can experience some other things while we're at it. What have I missed? Not much. Where I'm just setting up lights and trying to get the lighting situation figured out and seeing what's worked. working and not working. I might have to end up, if I'm going to do this gel experiment, I might just have to come up with a better backdrop than what I'm using now. Why is this light blinking? Okay. Let's bring this down and see what's going on. It would be nice if this was Bluetooth. Okay. Oh, it's because it's super high. All right, 46, usually it's 4,300. Oh, it's because I'm on a blinky blink mode. Blinky blink mode will do that. All right, there's, I think usually I'm at 4,300. Let's bring this up to 6%. There we go. Okay, now let's look at that. See how that looks. All right. So it's interesting gel, I guess. Kind of cool. It's not particularly diffuse, so we're getting some shadows, which I don't really want. So I might end up using a bounce. Okay. Probably need to move that over just a little bit. Just play with these little, play with the gels and see what how the gels end up looking. All right. Yeah, I wonder if I try another gel on top, if it'll get even more diffuse or not. All right, so that's the R103. Wish I could take a picture of it. Okay, took a picture of that. Okay. Then we've got the R3026 Tough White. All right, let me bring the frame over here. All right, then take this off here. Try not to rip it since I paid $8 or $12 or something for this gel. Okay, thank you B&H for your contribution of gels here. Okay. That went onto the floor. All right, now this is the 3026 Tough White. Let's see how this one works here. Just clamping the clampies on it. Okay. So it sounds like I might have another project of making a better backdrop than just a shiny whiteboard, which, you know, in the past has been a little irritating because it is pretty reflective. All right, I just thought it would be easy because it was one single solitary color, but it's kind of shiny. So if I figure out something else to do with that. All right, so here's the 3026 gel here. Right there. Let's see how this one does here. And put it up in here. Okay, there's that on the C-stand. Okay, let's see how that's covering. There's that. Okay, how does that look? Oh, interesting, I guess. Let's see here. Shadows, still got shadows, but they're a little bit more diffuse. Okay, still getting, well, again, can't really do much about that reflection. Alright, let me just take a picture of this. Compare that to the other one. Well, the other one definitely let in more light. There's the previous one. That's the 3026 Tough White. Yeah, the shadows diffuse. All right, so it's R103. And then it was the R3026, all from Roscoe. Okay, so let's, I think it's mainly, well, obviously it's impacting the amount of light, but it's also how diffuse it's making the light, and therefore how hard are the shadows. But we're trying to emulate the out of doors, so I might end up just having to do a bounce so that it's diffuse. All right, so these gels might be interesting for like close-ups. I don't know if they're gonna work for. All right, what is this one? This is the 3010 Opal Tough Frost. Okay. Let's see how the 3010 Opal Tough Frost does. Okay. So, just kind of getting it straight here on the table. And then putting on the clampies, which are not in a convenient location. There we go. Okay, so here is the first. Also have the Servotone printing in the other room. That hopefully will be successful in the next couple hours. It's a 6-hour print. Okay, so we might paint Servotone tomorrow when it snows. We're supposed to get some snow in Denver. All right, here's the other clippies. All right, so this is the 3010. And I got static everywhere. All right, and little bits of dust everywhere. Okay. Okay, let's get that off a little bit. There's that right there. There's that right there. Okay, so let's see what the 3010 looks like. Okay, so here's the 3010. Hey, look. It's a white gel on a frame. Okay. And we'll see how this one looks. Okay. That in there. And the little guy right there, the knee or whatever they call that thing. Elbow. Wrist. Okay. Knuckle, I think, actually. Okay. This needs to go up a little bit more. Okay, let's see what the 3010 looks like. All right, shot 3010. Okay. Okay, that's the 3010. And basically, I'm just kind of looking at the shadow. All right, so that one let a lot of light in. Okay, so that's the R103. And that's the 3026. Definitely more diffuse. And the 3010. All right, we'll try a couple more here. All right, now undo the knuckle there. Okay. Let's see what else we got here. All right, well, we got some options to play with. I'm picking up a bunch of dirt from this table. Okay. All right, we'll try one more. Let's see what we got. I think that R104 is kind of diffuse. There's a tough white. 3028 tough white. All right, we'll try the 104. All right, let's see how the 104 looks here. Okay, there's that. Just getting dirt all over these gels. Okay. From this set of the dragons, Swamp Dragons. If you haven't seen Swamp Dragons, you should check it out. It's pretty fun, put a lot of effort into it. Okay, there's that. There's that. Okay. Let's get this over here. Okay. Get this piece of paper off of it. Okay. Now, that's a clip to that. And now we got the R104. Okay. So here's the R104. Nickel in there. There it goes. Okay. There's that. Okay. This is at, these are at 4.3K, and I think that was 5%. All right, so that one's not as diffuse. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, it's even not. So it looks like the R103 is the most diffuse, which is interesting. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. All right, now let's try this. I have an extra C-stand, so let's try this with this light, and I'm going to try to bounce. So this is set to, I'll make sure that's set to the same settings. 4400, and well, it's the bounce, so it's going to actually need to be a little bit higher. We'll start with 20. Okay, so here is this key light, and then we'll get a bounce on this right here. Okay, I'm going to turn off this one. Okay, that one's turned off. Now let me get the bounce here. I might end up running out of clips. Okay, I have a shortage of clips. Okay, how am I going to do this without enough clips? Do I have other clips somewhere? Where's my other clips? All right, other clips, where are you? Other clips, where do you be? Okay, I need more clips. Put that on the list of things to buy. Oh, there they are over there. Okay. They are just not conveniently located. There's 1, 2. Ooh, that's a big one. Okay. I think 2 should be enough. All right. Just get some more clips. Put that on the list of things to get. Okay. There's a clip there. And a clip there. That should probably be good enough. Okay, so here's the bounce. It's just a piece of foam core that I use as my bounce. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to bounce, but I'm going to put the diffuse material in front of the bounce and see how that affects things. Okay. All right. there's that. Okay. Now, there's the bounce. Okay, so I'm not getting much. It's going to be a little bit of a hot spot because of that. Oh, I'm not even looking at the right thing. Okay. Oh, we're getting we're getting a flare. Okay. Need to move the key light so we don't get a flare. Okay, there's that. Am I still getting a flare? Why am I getting a flare? Okay, I'm getting a flare from that light. Okay. I don't really want a flare. Okay. All right. Less flare. Okay, I'm still getting a hot spot, but not much I can do about that. All right. Let's move the bounce. Then, oh, there's one of my clips. Okay. Is there a clip up there too? Yep, there is. Get some more clips. All right, and got a bit of a flare there. So it's like if it ain't one thing, it's another. Hot spot on the back or a flare in the camera. Okay, now it's not particularly even across that. So I don't know if I need a bigger bounce board or let me raise that. Raise that, and then I'm going to try those diffuse gels in front of the bounce and see how that works. All right, well, we're getting a flare. Okay. See if I can close this, or maybe I just need to go to take the barn doors off and use the so many things to do. Okay. This. Okay, move it just a little bit that way. Get rid of the flare. Or maybe not get rid of the flare. What's giving me that flare? Is it that? So many things to try. Okay. Well, I got these diffusers and whatnot down here that I can try. Okay, does this like pop into this? Okay. So instead of using the barn door, I'm going to use these guys. Let's see if how that affects things. All right, so I need to turn the light off so I don't burn myself, because I'll probably just end up burning myself. All right. Okay, I'm gonna turn this light off. Okay. Now let's take the barn door off. There's my barn door on there. Gotta figure out how to take the barn door off because I think this has got a doohickey here. There it goes. Okay, that takes off the barn door. Is it attached to that? Okay. Let's try this. Which I don't know what this is called, but it's the doohickey. Okay, so we'll put that on there. Okay, so that's on there. And then turn that on. And then does this thing just go in here? look like it's catching. How is it supposed to catch? Like a diffuser. But I don't know how this is supposed to attach in here. Like that. That's just going to fall on the ground. All right, let's see how that changes things, if at all. All right. Still got a flare. Maybe bring this down a bit. And we still got a flare. I don't know if that helped much at all. Okay. So I'm going to pull this over this way and aim it this way. And then get this other C-stand. Looks like for the time being, I'm just going to have flares. Okay. Move this board so it's a little bit more. Yeah, there's the light that's causing the flare right there. It's coming off that edge. Okay, might want to bring the bounce over towards the middle so it's a little bit more evenly lit. Okay, I don't want that to drop on the camera. That would be a no-no. Okay, there's that. See if that's a little bit more even. Well, so it's out of the... This is just going to cause more flare. Okay. Yep. All right. So I got to deal with this flare now. And if it's not one thing, it's another thing. Maybe just tilt it up a little bit, bring the light up. Maybe that'll help. Okay, there's that. Is that helping with the flare at least? Well, it helped with the flare. Okay. It's a little bit more evenly lit. Okay. All right, let me get this other C-stand. Is there a knuckle? There's no knuckle. All right, do I need to buy another knuckle? All right, let's take this pokey light off. Okay. Bring this other stand over. Okay, oops. All right, now, it's like add another knuckle to the list of things to buy. I only think I have one knuckle. Okay. So, I guess I can put the flag just on the edge. Maybe that'll work. Okay. So, the next is a bounce with... I need to see what percentage that is. All right, so it is 6%. I can crank it up a little bit. I'll put it on 10%. All right, there's 10%. Okay. Now, see how that looks. Oh, it's bright. Okay. Now let's try these gels. Okay, so this is the 104. Okay, actually I need to move that down. All right, so this come down here. See if this is crazy enough to work or not. Alright, well, it's holding in there. Okay, I want to move this over this way. Okay. So, how does that look? I forgot. Am I on shot 5? Yeah, I'm on shot. Well, I'm shot 4. So I did 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. Okay, so this actually needs to move down here. Bounce with 10% and the R104. Okay, and the last one was just straight R104. I'll just call it direct key. All right, R104. And that's 10%. Okay, let's see how this looks. Let me do one without the bounce, or without the... Okay, so... get this out of the way. Okay, so then that's just a bounce. 10%. Okay, so let's get that there. Well, I definitely like the bounce. It's going to be interesting to see how the different diffuse gels affect the bounce. Okay. Because we're just trying to diffuse that light. All right, so that's the R104. That's made it. I like it. It's a little less. It's a little less hot, disregarding the back. All right, so that's R104. So that's bounce. And then that's, I'll just write without. And then that's R104. Okay. Okay, I'm just going to take a note here to get another knuckle for this crazy project. And some clips. Okay. All right, so that's the R104. So let's try the R103, which was pretty good at making it diffuse. Okay. And then I need to work on a matte background. I like a project. I just gotta figure out how I'm gonna do it. I'm just gonna get a big piece of paper and paint it. I don't know. Oh, I'm just getting stuff all over this gels. All right. Have to clean all the gels off. All right, so that's the R80-30-26. There's not a lot of room in here. Okay, and where's this? The R103? R103. Okay. It just has crap all over it. Okay. Such is life. I will blow it off. Okay, there's that. And then this. Okay. I should close the lens box. Move it over there. Close the lens box, lock the lens box. Okay, now I've got landscape material all over my gels now. Okay, it's all good. We're just having a good time. Okay, there's that. Now this is let's move blowing the landscape material off this gel. Okay, so this is the R103. All right, so there's the R103. So I'm diffusing the light and then bouncing it, which is going to diffuse it even more. Okay. And I'm using that little can thing, which I don't know what the technical name of it is. I'll have to look it up. Okay. Now, that one's not as diffuse. Is this centered? Center it a little bit better. So kind of like the R104 so far. All right, R103. Okay. So the R104, that's the R104 there. Shadows are pretty much just minimized. That's the R103 there. It's really just the backdrop that's kind of bugging me. The model looks good. Okay. Let's try another one. Okay, so that was the R103 from Roscoe by way of B&H. Okay. Now I think 3026 was the other one. Okay. I need a clean table, and I don't have one. Okay, there's the 3026. Kind of like this idea of diffusing the key and then using the bounce. Okay. Okay, blow that stuff off there. Using the old-fashioned blow machine. Okay, now this is the 3026. Okay. All right, there's that. Oh, that stuff all over it. Okay, and that's pretty much right in front of it. All right, let's write this down. 3026. Okay. Now, it's not as evenly lit across the model. Okay. Oops. That last one I like that one. I like the R104. It's nice having some options. Okay. That's the 3026. All right. And I guess we can try some of the other ones. All right. I don't think I could try that diffuser thing and see what it does. I don't know if it has as much control. All right. I don't know how you're supposed to, if you're just supposed to suck, if this actually goes in the barn door. Okay, maybe that's just called the reflector or something. Okay, let's not go over the model because I don't want to drop this on the model. Okay. All right, so does this thing just go in the barn door? Yeah, it looks like it just goes in the barn door. Yeah, like that. All right, well, that's good to know. It's kind of its own little, it says 30-degree diffuser. Of course, I put it in the wrong way, so you just got to push it out. It's got a pull tag on it, so why don't you put it in the way with the pull tag? There you go. Guess I could try that. after the diffusers. Okay, so let's put that. Oh, it's got even got a little extra thing. It's interesting. Okay, so small rig stuff I like. Small rig makes cool stuff. Okay, let's try another gel. So far, I kind of like the 104 the best. But it's nice to have options. Experience these different things. Okay, so R103 we did the R104, which I liked the best. This was, oh, the 3010. Opal Tough Frost. Covered with landscape boot. Okay, okay, so let's try this up here. There's that. All right, so this is the 3010 Opal Frost. Right here, and then we'll try that 30-degree honeycomb diffuser thing. Okay, there's that. Okay, that's the 3010. Let's in a little bit more light. It's kind of nice. Let's look at that shadow real quick. Okay. It's actually kind of nice. So that's the 104. That's without, and that's with the 104. It's a little bit more diffuse. And then I think that was the 103, the 3026, and the 3010. 3026 a little bit darker, so not as much light going through. I like this. This is kind of fun. All right, so let's see what else we got. Okay. All right. All right, this. Okay, that's the R104. We already used that one. All right, now we've got the R3028 quarter tough white. Quarter tough white. And the last one is covered in dirt. Is the 3020 light Opal Tough Frost. Okay, so we'll have two more here. This is the 3028. I keep hitting my head on this, which is just irritating me. All right, there we go. Okay, so this is the 3028. All right, there we go. Okay, 3028. See how that looks. That's pretty nice. Oh, sorry. Yeah, I like that actually. That's a nice one. Pull it up a little bit higher. Okay. See if that made much difference or not. Didn't make much difference. Okay. I like that 3028. That's nice. It's nice and even. Cool. All right. Let's try our last one, and we'll do the see what the honeycomb diffuser looks like. Okay. Okay. All right, so this one is covered with filth. Actually, I may have one more because there was one that was back ordered. I think the 3027 was back ordered, and then they shipped it to me. All right, so there's that, and that. Oh, and we lost it up there. Okay. There we go. Now, there's that. And then this was the 3020, right? 3020, yeah. Okay. So it's the 3020. Okay. That's interesting. It's kind of nice. Okay, it's a little bit more light. It's diffuse. Okay. Okay. Then let me go check that other tube, which I think was the 3027. Okay. Squeeze through over here. All right, there's that. Where's that tube? There it is over there. Okay, I think it was this one. Okay, let's open this one up. If my memory serves correctly, it's the 3027. Let me get a knife. Try not to cut myself like I did a couple months ago. Or else I'll be live streaming from the urgent care. Okay. Apparently I need to cut off more. Okay. There we go. Tube is open. And we have a single gel. And I suspect it's the 3027. We'll see here. Okay. It is the 3027. All right. So I've not completely forgot my mind. All right, so let's try the 3027. All right, it's definitely opaque. All right. It seems to me like the guy who I watched the YouTube video on, he liked the 3027 best, so we'll see here. Okay. It's the 3027. 3027. Okay. All right. Yeah. It's a little bit more shadows. Let's see if changing this higher helps at all or not. There's that. Interesting, because it has, so it's got more shadow, which means it's got a little bit, it's letting more light through. All right, let me try that honeycomb diffuser. I still like that R104 here. I still like that one the best. That one's kind of nice there too. I think that was the 3020. I think that was the 3020. That's pretty nice too. Okay. All right, let me put the gels away then, and then we'll try the barn door with the honeycomb. Oops. Okay. Okay, there's that. Put the frame down there. Okay. Now, let's see if it's, no, it doesn't seem to be too hot. Okay, it is an LED, but it is kind of bright. Okay, so now let's try the barn door with the honeycomb diffuser. Okay. Okay, that's locked in. And open up the barn doors. All right, that's the 30-degree diffuser. Okay. There's that. All right, it's definitely not as bright. Ooh, it is quite dark. Okay. Okay, so that's the 30-degree diffuser, which would mean I would have to turn the light up. Okay. Let's turn the light up and see what it does here. All right, let's see what that's set to now. Oops, that's not the one I want to do. All right, we went from like 6%, that's 26%. Okay, so we put that diffuser on and turn the light up significantly. Okay. All right. It still needs more to even be anywhere close to these ones. All right, let's bring it up some more. All right. See how that's... I like the diffuser with the bounce. Okay, let's take this thing out, and then let's see if barn doors with diffuser. Okay, so that was like... All right, so that's like 2. All right, and that's that. So now I need to go to another page. All right, and this is going to be barn door. The before was reflector. Alright, so that's reflector. Now let's see if the barn door makes any difference. Okay. So let's see, I like that R104. There's the R104. 3020 wasn't too bad. All right, that's the 3028. Here's the R104. Okay. All right. Now, the frame's over here. Okay. Okay. All right, so... There's that. Let's see who's calling me here. I don't even know where my phone is. Oh, here it is. Okay. A political call. Well, interesting. Okay. Now, here's the frame. We've got the R104 on it with the barn door. We'll see if there's much difference with the reflector and the barn door. All right, so there's the reflector, or excuse me, the barn door. I'm gonna put that in there, and I'm gonna close the barn door a little bit. We'll see if the reflector made much difference or not. Okay, well, we're definitely getting flares. I think I kind of like the reflector better than the barn door. All right, so there's that. Okay, I have to close the lower barn door. Close the upper too, see if that helps with the flares. All right, so it did help with the flare. Okay, still getting a lot of reflection off that background, so. Okay, so we got barn doors, and that was with the R104. Okay, taking some notes here. So, well, I don't know, I just don't think the background is very interesting just with that flat white. I mean, I could try a color on it, but I may end up wanting just to paint something. All right, what is this, red? Yeah, it's red. Well, let's see if red makes it look interesting at all. Okay. Oh, I need to put a diffuser on that, or else it's just gonna blow everything out. Okay, where's the diffuser? That's not a diffuser. I thought I had a diffuser around here. Where are you? Oh, there you are. Okay. Okay, let's put a diffuser on this. So it's a little bit of red light. See if it makes the background interesting at all. Yeah, well, it's definitely making it red. Okay. If I put this over here, I'm going to end up with a hot spot on that background. And probably more shadows too. Yeah, it's kind of a hot mess. All right, it's too many shadows. Put this over here. I think that reflective material is just going to be too much. Okay. It's not really doing anything for me. I think ultimately that background just isn't very interesting. All right, so that's the 50 millimeter. Let me see. Let's play with some camera angles here. Okay, Trexo. Joystick, is it still connected or no? Oh, it is, okay. Alright, I probably need to turn that barn door down too, because I think, what was I using before? 5%, 10%? Back to the notes. 10%. Okay, might end up going back to the reflector too. Okay. All right, 10%. That's at 37. Well, okay. There's 10%. Through the diffuse. Okay. Yeah, that looks... That is so much darker than the reflector. Interesting. Yeah, I might put the reflector back on. Okay, I'll capture that. Interesting shadows. Okay. So that was 10% with the barn door. Okay, I'm going to put the reflector back on. Kind of like the reflector. And that's with the 104. Okay. Where did I go with that reflector? Where did you go, reflector? You can't be that far away. I thought I just set it down. Reflector, what did I do with you? Oh, there it is. Okay. Okay. That's too dark, so we'll go over there. Okay, barn door's coming off. Reflector going on. Okay, so close these so I can grab the thing. And it goes this way. Come on out. There we go. Oh, that thing is heavy. Okay. Let's set this over here. All right, you go right there. Put the reflector back on, which I set over here. Okay, blind myself. All right. Okay, that's reflector. Okay, so that's reflector with 104. I think that I put it on 10%, right? Okay. 10%, okay. And what is the temperature? 4,400, okay. Okay, so that's the reflector. And we're at 44%. Okay, and the R104, 10%. Yeah, kind of like that. Okay. Now just pan over. I don't know, just don't like the background. I need to figure out something better for the background. Okay. All right. So let's do this. I'm going to take that, turn that red light off. All right, red light goes off. Okay, so now I'm going to set up a new shot. All right, just call it test pan. All right. So then I'll just call it test pan. All right, now I'll just save that one. Kind of move it over here. There's that. The next shot. Come over here. Stop motion. 12 feet a second. 3 seconds. Okay, that's fine. Oh, why is that moving the camera up? I had this problem last time. Alright, I guess I'll reset these things. This Drexel firmware has been buggy. You're a buggy Drexel firmware. Let's reset these. Turn it back on. Okay. Alright, turn it off. Turn it back on. Reset. Alright. See if that helps. Okay, go back. Okay. Go back. Timeline. Go back. Disconnect. Refresh. Pan, tilt, slider. I guess we'll do that. Connect that. Okay, hit that. Joystick. Okay, here we go. And it's not even working at all. Okay, thanks Trexo. Or T-Rexo. Okay, come back here, joystick. That one works. Alright, did I not hit the right thing? I think I did. Alright, let's go back. T-Rexo likes to bite my nose off. Okay, refresh list. Okay, but which... Master pan tilt. Okay, let's try that. Connect. I don't know if it's my phone or if just their software is buggy. It drives me batty. Okay. Joystick. Up, down, nothing, nothing. And the slider works. Okay. Let's try it again. Let me reset the slider and see if that helps. Okay. Now, I wonder if I need to. I'm going to go ahead and move this so it's a little bit more weighted in the back. There we go. Should be a little bit more evenly weighted. Those lenses are heavy. Okay, so oi. Okay, go back, refresh list. Connect and pair. Okay, go to shoot. Go to shoot. Joystick. There it goes. Okay. And tilt or pan. Okay, there's that. My sticks don't look even. I'll worry about that later. Okay, so many things to worry about. There's that. And then move this over here. There's that. Stop motion. Do it. Do it. It's doing it again. It's raising the camera. Why are you raising the camera? Okay, well, we'll just try this. I don't know why it just wants to be irritating, I guess. Okay, there's that. Go to next frame. 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 There's 10 and 11, 12, 13. Okay, there's 13. 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. Okay, at least that's a nice, even though it tilted up a bit, even the pan seems to be working. Okay. All right, decent pan. All right. Okay, so I think, what should I do next? We're getting on here about an hour and 45 minutes. Trying to think. I'm gonna need to change the background. I guess, can I trick it and maybe once it does that, maybe I just gotta come click it again. Okay. All right, so I guess I can try a dolly shot. There you go, slider wasn't working. Why are you stuck there? Oh, you silly thing. All right, well, I'm just gonna reset you. Oh, this thing is such a pain. Okay. Why are you not going all the way? Back. All right, there it goes. It's going all the way back now. Okay. So there we are, all the way back. Okay, so refresh list. Let's do a new shot. So we'll call this one Dolly in. And there's that. Okay. There's that. So what have I learned tonight? Well, we learned that we got to try the different gels. And that this background is too reflective, so I need to come up with a different background idea. I might actually have to paint a matte. All right, this is getting caught. Okay. Okay. Bring it down a little bit. Okay, that's kind of an interesting shot there. Maybe I'll open the doors. I think I got this little closer thing on it here. Get that out of there. Well, can't see what I'm doing. Do I need to look back here to see what I've done, or get a butter knife or something? A pencil. Okay. Maybe. Okay, come on, doors. You gotta open. These doors were made for opening. Well, why is that not opening it? All right, well, add that to the problems to fix. Okay. Back to here. Okay, so save that position. Stop motion, okay. Okay. It's a little high. Okay. Here, I'll try that. Okay, go to frame 36. Okay, what's pulling it up? Is there a cable that's pulling it up? Yep, there's a cable pulling it up. Okay. Boy, that thing is just loose in there, isn't it? Alright, let's undo this here. Okay, here's this. Okay, it's stuck on something. Okay, there's this. Through here. Put that back in there. Okay. Now that should be enough. Okay. Let's shoot this one and see what it looks like. Okay, back to frame 1. Make sure these cables aren't catching. Alright, they don't look like they're gonna catch. That one does though. Okay. Alright. Need more description about what you're doing. Well, what I'm doing is just setting up these shots and learning what works and what doesn't work. That is it's pretty much as simple as that. And this is back here. So we went through all the different gels, and now I'm trying to see what shots work with the Trexo, because the Trexo's been acting a little weird. I'm not going to bother doing the focus pull. I just want to see what the camera action looks like. Alright, so the main lesson is I need to figure out what to do about the background. I'm wondering if I just put up a white sheet. That background that I have there is just too close. There's not a lot of space in the basement down here. I do have a blue sheet that I could use. That's interesting, at least. Okay. Alright, where's my focus pull? Oh. Focus it a bit there. Okay. And next frame, 29. 30. 31. 32. 33. Looks like I'm focused on the turret behind it. That helped. It's a kind of interesting effect. Okay. And 36. Okay. So it's a 3-second shot. Kind of pulled at the end, but bloop. Alright, let's see what the render looks like. Alright, 133. And what am I supposed to make the mask? 241. Alright, I can't remember how this was. Okay. Let's see what this looks like. Okay, this is basically camera tests. This is new folder, dungeon diving, create, new folder, exports, new folder, camera tests. Okay. And then this is dolly in. Okay, let's see how this ends up looking. Now if I end up going to portrait mode, I probably won't have to worry about the background all that much, but this is in the widescreen. And it's all squished. Okay. Let's try it again. Take 2. And it's still squished. Okay. What am I supposed to set this to? What are my notes? 133 to 1. Portrait 916 to 45. Okay, yeah. My notes are so dirty I can't read my notes. Okay. Oh, maybe I have to change the scale. Oh, these are so dirty. 40 by 25. And I think this is 2400. All right, let's see if that does better. It's been a while since I shot widescreen with these guys. I think the new software is supposed to take that into account, but I need to buy a new laptop to use the new software, and I don't have that money right now. Oh, that worked. Okay, cool. Well, it's interesting. I still need to work on the lighting, and I need to work on the backdrop. It's widescreen though. That's cool. I like the 50mm lens. Okay, I'm gonna call it a success. Definitely learned some stuff. All right, well, I think I should probably go eat dinner. Okay. All right, let's see here. All right. All right, let's see what we got here. Camera 3, picture in picture. There it is. All right, well, we did a lot of stuff in the last couple hours. We did some, we tried some different gels, some different lighting. We tried some different lenses. I think I like the 50mm lens. I like that one gel that we ended up using, the 104, I think it was, with the reflector on the key light and using a bounce. I do want to, if I'm going to shoot these in widescreen, I do need to fix that backdrop. I don't know, some of these I might end up shooting portrait, just because YouTube Shorts does better on portraits. Anyway, thanks for sticking with us, and I hope you had a good...
Hey, Scully!
Yar, Stinkosaurus!
Oh, right.